welcome back. Cyprian Smith here. All I'm going to do in this video is show you how easy it is to set up some live templates, or if you're using Visual Studio Code, it might be classed as snippets. I really like how easy IntelliJ have made this. So I'm going to go over to IntelliJ. I'll be going through some of these test structures in my next video, and these are in relation to how you find elements within the web application that you're testing and the different types of locators that you can use. But you can use IDs, class, tags, names, and even attributes that are associated with these elements on the web page. To give you a head start, I just want to be able to show you these live templates. So I'm going to go to IntelliJ, Settings. For this example, I'll create a new group. So you can give it a group. So I'm just going to call it Cypress Demo. Click OK. I then press the Add button and then Live Templates. You can give it an abbreviation. This one I'm going to call Blur, and this is a Cypress command. So I'm going to prefix it with Cypress and then Blur Element Focus. And what this does is it takes the focus away from the currently focused element. So I'm going to select into the template text, Control V, because I've already copied this ahead of time. I'm just going to delete what I don't need. Make this a little bit bigger. So you can see here we've got the sci.get command. We've got a locator in this example, which is an ID, and then we've got the Cypress command blur. What I'm going to do is just remove this hard-coded ID, and I'm going to use $selection. I'm going to make this available everywhere. I'm going to reformat according to style, click apply and OK. If I go to the web page that I'll be looking at, one of the tests that I want to do for this is to make sure that we get the correct validation message at the correct time. So you can see at the minute there are no validation messages. I'm going to click into this email and then click away, and you can see now we have this validation message. I'm going to do the same for the password. Click into that field, click away, and we have the second validation message. Going back to the test, just for this example, what you can do now we've created that new template. Actually, I need to inspect this. So I'm going to right click and then select the option for inspect, and for now I'm just going to use a class locator. So I'm going to double click on this attribute for class, and I'm just going to copy this mat error. Just going to take that, and that is within. Do we have anything else to make this unique? Mat form. I can't see that we can. No, nothing yet. Okay. So to make this easier, we have the mat error CSS, class. So I'm just going to paste that in there. Because this is a class, I'll put it in here so it makes sense. Because it's a class, you denote that with a period or a dot. I'm going to select all of that by clicking Command Shift and then right to highlight all of that text. I've set up previous live templates but I've got a shortcut command which is Command Option J, and here you can see the list of predefined shortcuts. I'm going to select the one for visible, so I'm going to say that should be visible. I'll go into this in more detail, but each it block, one of these, you can either set to run on its own, skip it if you want, or exclude it. So I'm just going to do dot only, and it's just going to run this one test. So if I go to my Cypress test runner, which is not running, I'll close that and open it up. I'll apologise if you can hear my cat. So I've got the Cypress locators spec file, and here you can see that it's just running the one test. The test has failed because it cannot find the mat error element. So to get this, we need to trigger the event. By doing this, we'll then be able to see this validation message. So here in the web inspector, you can select this first icon to select an element within the page. I'm going to select the password, and you can see it's taken me to this field. This field does have an ID, so I'm going to copy this, and IDs are denoted with a hashtag. So I'm going to put hashtag and then paste in the value, which is password control, and you can see it's found 1 of 1, and if you hover over, you can see it on the left hand side where it's matched. So I'm going to use that for this ID. Go back to IntelliJ. I'm going to paste that value in, hold shift and click to the left, and then do Command Option J. Now I've got my predefined lists, and I've got one here called focus. So again, it's using the sci.get command and then using the focus command. I'm going to do the same again, but this time I'm going to use the blur command, which is another Cypress built-in function. So Cypress blur element, and you can see, so we focus that element as if we've clicked it, we then blur that element as if we've clicked away, and now here we should be able to see that error message. So Cypress will automatically watch for changes in the spec files, and once it's been saved it will rerun. So we've done that, we've ran the test, and you can see now that it's got this element using an ID. It's focused it. You can select on this row to pin this row here, and then you can see the snapshot. So we've got the green border indicating it's been triggered. We do the blur command, and now you can see it's gone red, and we have that mat error class. So with that in mind, if you want to go ahead and go to some of the Cypress documentation, what you could do is predefine some of these commands. So the previous ones that I've got are things such as checkboxes. I've got things for getting, a Cypress log command, making sure things are visible, as well as the sci-visit, which you would often use when you're going to a different web page or the web page that you're looking at testing. So I'm just going to close that. I'm going to create a new file just as a quick example. So again, this is another shortcut. This is a live page file template rather than the individual commands. So I can give this a name, and it's got its predefined sci.js file extension, and in this example I've got everything that I need to be able to start writing a test from scratch. But what I've also done is set up shortcuts, so I can do a new file. So if I select that, you can see I've got a specify block, which is the same as an it block, I've got an example it block, I've got all of the different hooks that are available to Cypress, and I'll create a new video just explaining what these hooks are. But that's one example that you could use to get started really quick. And then if you wanted to, you could do your individual sections as well. So I've got a describe block example, so just call that test, and then if you wanted to, I've set up one for an it block, and there you can see it's automatically populating the cursor where you need it, and there we are. So that is how easy it can be to get set up with Cypress. If you look at the documentation available to you from the Cypress website, copy and paste those commands, populate the commands which are dynamic, the bits that will change. So for example, this get command, change it to be this selection, and then each time you run these commands, you'll eventually learn what these commands are and how to structure them, and where you'd often use some of these specific things such as focus, click, or check if it's a checkbox. So that's just a really quick video ahead of the other videos that I want to create, which are going into more depth in creating an actual test and explaining it. Hope you found this interesting. If you could like this video, subscribe, or drop a comment and let me know what you want me to look at doing next, or give me some advice. Maybe this one was too quick, I can slow it down or explain certain things in a little bit more detail. Just one other thing while I think about it. So if I've got a locator, there we are. So button login, for example, I can highlight these, do my command option J, and you can see some of these letters have the underscores under certain ones. If you select that corresponding letter, it will give you that command. So for example, if I do the get, I can just press G on my keyboard and it'll do the get command. Thank you very much.